come to your seat on your mat, any comfortable seat that works for you. Again, my name is Brie, and this is going to be a 40-ish minute vinyasa class. So you can amp it up, modify, add variations, really make this practice yours, because this practice is really meant to be your own self-expression, and I'm simply guiding you along the way. All right. As you settle into your seat, bring your hands either face down for a grounding energy, or hands face up if you want more of a receiving energy. Lift up tall and long through your spine. Soften your eyelids down and start to connect inward. Feel your pelvis heavy on the earth. Lift up long through the spine, through the crown of the head. And as you breathe, pulse your breath in both directions. Begin to open your mouth and release breath that you're holding in your lungs. HA. Inhale fully through your nose. Open mouth, HA, release, let it go. Inhale fully. Exhale completely. Bring your hands to Anjali Mudra by heart center. And softly bow head towards fingertips. Give yourself a little gratitude for showing up for your practice on your mat today. Lift your skull up and come to all fours, tabletop position. As you land in your tabletop, look down, stack your wrists underneath your shoulders. Spread nice and wide and even through your fingers. Inhale, lift your tailbone, melt your heart, find a cow spine, extension of the spine. Exhale, round, press your hands and your knees into the mat. Find flexion, puff up into the back body. Inhale, lift your tailbone, melt your heart, cow spine. Then exhale, press your hands and your knees into the mat, round to a deep, full cat spine. Come to a little bit more of a neutral position. Walk your knees back about 2 to 3 inches. Tuck your toes and lift your hips up to a downward facing dog. Now, as you arrive in your down dog, pedal it out. Push one heel down and then the other. Actively press into your pointer finger mounds in your hands to help you stay stable in the hands as you pedal here. Push more of the inner edge of your heel down in the mat to stretch more through the calves. And as you wiggle, maybe you choose to go side to side, send your heels towards the left, bend your knees, send your heels towards the right, bend your knees. Come back through center, find a nice still down dog. Keep a micro bend in your knees, hug your lower legs in towards the midline, and send your sit bones, your hips, higher towards the sky. Lift your shoulders up from the back of the heart, press down and out through the arms into the earth. Inhale, spike your heels high, wave and round your way all the way forward to a plank position. Shift your shoulders past your wrists and lower all the way down to the mat. Untuck your toes, press your toenails down. Inhale and rise up to a cobra pose. Pull your heart through. Exhale, folds. 2 more like that. Inhale, rise up, pull the shoulders back. Cobra pose. Exhale, fold. Last time, inhale, rise up, cobra pose. And exhale, take it all the way back, downward facing dog. And your dog pose, make your feet nice and wide as your mat. Grab for the outside edges of your sticky mat. Bend your knees, send your hips higher to the sky. Lift your shoulders up. And from the back of the heart, press down and out through the arms, through the hands, into the earth. Press those shoulder blades onto the back of the ribs. Breathe. Reconnect your hands on the mat. Start to walk your hands all the way back until your heels come down. Keep going. Hinge your hips so far back into space It's almost as if you're going to fall backwards. When you look down at your feet, see that the outside edge of your feet is lining up with the long edge of the mat. So ever so slightly, send your heels back and wide. Breathe. Inhale and halfway lift, lengthen through your spine. Exhale, fold. Press into the earth, inhale, circle sweep, reach your arms high. And exhale, bring your hands back to heart center. Tadasana, mountain pose. Inhale, reach for the sky. Exhale, grab your right wrist, side bend over towards the left, tug on your wrist. From the pelvis, press down into the legs. Inhale, come back through center. Switch your clasp and take that side bend up and over the other way. Inhale through center, reach up. Exhale, cactus your arms, bring the tops of your ears back into space. Inhale, engage navel to spine. Reach your arms straight up and high. Exhale, hinge at your hips, tone the navel on the way down, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift and lengthen through your spine. Exhale, fold. Start to curl your hands all the way out until you land back in a plank position. Shift your shoulders past your wrists. Lower all the way to the ground. Inhale, come up, upward facing dog. So in up dog, only your hands and your feet are on the earth. Pull the heart through, pull the breastbone through. Tuck your toes and lift your hips up, down dog. Walk your feet in about 6 inches with each foot. Bring your left hand to the outside edge of the right shin or kind of ankle region and pull your chest and your leg towards one another. Reground your left hand, second side. Bring your right hand to grab the outside edge of your left foot and pull your chest and thigh towards one another, hugging the midline. Reconnect your hands on the earth. Walk your feet back so you're back to your normal length down dog. Come forward towards a plank pose. Send your heels towards the left. Reach your right arm up, side plank. Lift through your hips. Lower your right hand down. Send your heels towards the right. Lift your left arm up. Lift through your hips. Ground your left forearm down. Send your heels towards the left. Lift through the hips. And lower your right forearm down. Send your heels towards the right. Lift through those hips. And connect both of your forearms back on the mat. Forearm plank. Hold it. And connect to your breath. Release your hips down. Pull your heart through. Sphinx pose. Drop your right ear over towards your right shoulder. Tuck your chin down towards the collarbone. And bring your left ear over towards your left shoulder. Lift your skull up a little. And then bring it back down and over. And just move through these half circles a few times, opening up through your neck. Land with your skull through center. Pull your right heel towards your sit bone. Reach around with your right hand to grab your foot. Actively kick your foot into your hand as you pull the heel towards the outer hip. Another quad stretch. And breathe. Stay engaged through your belly. Press the left toes down into the mat here. And slowly release. Second side, pull your opposite heel in. Reach around with your hand to grab your foot. Quad stretch. And breathe. Slowly release your foot down. Soften your chest down to the mat. Bring your arms to a cactus shape. Walk your right hand fingertips in towards your face and start to pivot to the outside edge of your left hip. You can bend your right knee and ground your right foot on the ground, or you can straighten the leg and keep the hips stacked. It kind of depends on what you are looking for and what range of motion you have in your hips. Breathe into the chest and inflate the lungs. Come all the way back through center. Second side, line up your right elbow with your right shoulder and take the little pivot to the outside edge of your right hip. Start to walk your left hand fingertips in towards your face and plug your left shoulder into the socket. And breathe. Come all the way back through center. Bring your hands by your chest and now rise up through your cobra pose. Tuck your toes and lift your hips up, downward facing dog. Inhale, reach your right leg high. Keep those toes pointing down. Exhale, pulse, knee towards nose round. Stack your shoulders above your wrists. Inhale, reach it up and long. Exhale, pulse, knee towards nose round. Inhale, reach it up and long. Exhale, pulse, knee towards nose round. Hug your thigh as close as you can towards your chest and press the earth away. Plant your foot in between your hands, lower your back knee down. Squeeze the base of your legs towards one another. From the pelvis, press down into the earth to rise up to a low lunge. Grab your left wrist, take an inhale. Exhale, side bend over towards the right. Kind of bow over to the side, but towards the right corner of your mat. So you're bowing forward. From the pelvis, press down into the power of the legs. Inhale, come back through center. Exhale, and cactus your arms. Lift through your heart. Inhale, pull, navel to spine. Bring your hands down. Lift off your back knee and straighten out through your right leg. Pull your right hip back as your left hip wraps forward into space. Breathe. Now we're going to take a little trip around the mat. So bring your right hand to the inside edge of the right foot. Pivot your left heel down and start to come to a wide-legged fold. And bend into your left knee. And bend into the right knee. And bend into the left knee. And the right knee. Open up through those inner thighs, your adductors. Land through center. Grab for your outside edges of your calves or your shins. And pull your chest towards your thighs here. Prasarita Padottanasana, wide-legged forward fold. Now shift. Your both hands are going to come towards the left leg, both feet. Now shift towards the back side of the mat. Plant your hands and reach your left leg up. Come all the way through, knee to nose. Inhale, pulse. And reach your leg high. Exhale, pulse, knee towards nose. Inhale, reach it up and long. Exhale, pulse, knee towards nose. Plant your foot in between your hands. Lower the back knee down. Inhale and rise up to that low lunge. Allow there to be density in your pelvis. Squeeze your inner thighs towards the midline. Get more lift up from the hips all the way through the spine, out the crown. Grab your left wrist. Inhale. And exhale, side bend up and over towards the left, bowing on a diagonal a bit. Inhale and come back through center. Exhale, cactus your arms and lift through your heart space. Inhale, pull, navel to spine. Bring your hands down. Left off your back knee and straighten out through your left knee. Breathe here. Press your left big toe down into the mat and pull your left hip back into space as your right hip wraps forward. Begin to bring your left hand to the inside edge of the left foot. Pivot your back heel down and come to that wide-legged stance on the other side. This time, walk your hands towards the right. Bend into your left knee. Crawl your left hand fingertips a little farther than the right. And breathe with a nice full breath into the right side body. Inhale. Exhale, come back towards center. Walk your hands towards the left. Walk the right arm a little farther and take a big breath. Breathe deep and full into the right side of the body. Again, your right knee is bent and your left leg is straight. Your right hand is going farther on a diagonal towards the right or towards the left right corner. Come all the way back through center. Bring both feet towards the front of the mat. Bend into your right knee. Stand down into the right foot to step up, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift and lengthen through your spine. Exhale, fold. Press into the feet. Inhale, circle sweep. Reach your arms high to the sky. Exhale, join your hands at a prayer by heart center, Anjali Mudra. Inhale, reach your arms high. Exhale, sink your hips low to a chair pose. Feet can be touching or hip distance apart. Find what works for you. Engage through the core and sink those hips really low, but keep lifting up through your heart space. Take 3 more breaths here. Imagine there's a block in between your palms and you're squeezing that block towards the midline. But last big breath in. And exhale, hinge at your hips, forward folds. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen through your spine. Exhale, fold, plant your hands, step or jump back, chaturanga. Lower your hips, inhale, pull the heart through to a cobra pose. And exhale, fold. Now find yourself in gecko pose. Make your fingertips wider. Come onto tented fingertips. Engage through the belly. Pull it up and away from the earth. Press the tops of the feet down. Inhale, start to lift up through your head, your chest, your shoulders. Pull your shoulders back. Wrap your elbows down. Take an inhale. Exhale, dip your left shoulder down. Look over the right. Inhale and come back through center. Exhale, dip your right shoulder down and look over the left. Inhale, back through center. And exhale, slowly lower all the way down to the mat. Find the locust pose. Bring your fingertips to face towards your feet. Engage to the belly and inhale, lift up through your head, your chest, your arms, and your legs. Squeeze your shins in towards the midline. Squeeze your pinkies in towards the midline. Take 1 more breath, inhale to get as much lift as you can. Exhale, lower your left ear to the mat and breathe in and out. Interlace your hands behind your back. Engage the belly. Inhale again, lift up through your head, your chest, and your legs. So a slightly different version of Shalabhasana. Squeeze the midline. Take 1 more inhale. And exhale, lower down. Breathe in. And breathe out. Bring your hands by your chest. Press your way up through tabletop or plank. Send your hips up and back to a downward facing dog. Inhale through your nose. Open up through the mouth. Exhale. Inhale, reach your right leg high to the sky. Bend your knee and open your hip. Squeeze your heel towards your sit bone. Create a big circle with your knee in one direction. And take that big circle with your knee in the other direction. Inhale, straighten out through your leg and square through your hip. Exhale, pull your right knee towards your right tricep. Plant your foot outside your pinky finger. Lower your left knee down. Use your right hand to press your right thigh bone away from you. Stay here or pull your left heel towards your sit bone or your left heel towards your sit bone, but use your right hand to grab your foot. Twisted monkey pose. And breathe. If this feels pretty inaccessible to you, you could work for active range of motion, pulling your heel towards your sit bone and releasing. And if it feels like you want more intensity, play with lowering your left forearm down to the mat. Pull both of your shoulders back and lean back as you twist open. And breathe. Slowly release your foot. Bring your hand forward. Lift off of your back knee. Pivot your back heel down and rise up to a warrior two. Settle in. Look down. See that your front heel lines up with the middle of the back arch. Turn your back toes in just a little bit. Stack your arms just in line with the earth, so parallel to the earth. Squeeze your legs towards one another. Find some strength in the legs. Inhale, flip your palm, reach forward and reverse your warrior. Lean back. Exhale, come towards a side angle, elbows either on the thigh or reach your hand way down towards the earth. Reach your left arm way in line with your ear. Find extended side angle. Really work to take up space and become expansive here. From the pelvis, stretch out long through the legs, long through the spine, and out through your left hand fingertips. Wrap your right torso underneath you. From the pelvis, press down into the earth. Inhale and reverse your warrior. As you exhale, cartwheel your hands down. Plant your hands on the mat. Reach your right leg up. Bend your knee and open your hip. Stay here or flip your dog. Come to the outside edge of your left foot. Carefully tap the right foot on the earth. Pull your shoulders back. Lift through your hips. Lift through the heart. Engage through the glutes. Unwind, ground your right hand. Inhale, reach that right leg high. And slow and controlled, lower the right foot all the way down to the mat. Inhale, come forward to a plank pose. Come straight into up dog, pull the heart through. Tuck your toes and lift your hips up, downward facing dog. Inhale, reach your left leg high. Bend your knee and open your hip. Squeeze your heel towards your sit bone. Create a few circles with your knee in one direction. And then rewind. Take those circles with your knee in the other direction. Inhale, straighten out through your leg, square through your hip, and pull your left knee all the way up towards the left armpit. Plant your foot outside your pinky finger. Lower your back knee down, lizard lunge. Your left toes are facing off on a diagonal, a smidge. Reach your left arm up and pull your back heel towards your sit bone. Reach around with your hand to grab your foot. Make heel to sit bone contact. Keep working to twist open and lean back into space. Pull both shoulders back. Pull your palate back. Breathe. Slowly release your foot. Lift off of your back knee. Pivot your back heel down onto the earth and line up front heel with the middle of the back arch. Press down into the earth as you rise up and land in Virabhadrasana 2. Stack that knee in line with the ankle. Squeeze your legs towards one another. Feel the inner edge of your thighs really firm up. And then I just checked down. A lot of times my back foot is parallel to the back of the mat, which isn't necessarily wrong, but ever so slightly, send your back heel back out into space and the toes in. So you're slightly more narrow in the stance rather than obtuse. Inhale, flip your palm and reverse your warrior. Lean back. Exhale, come towards that side angle, either elbow to the thigh or reach your hand way down towards the earth. Extend your right arm way in line with your ear. Wrap your left torso underneath you. Breathe, deep, full breaths. From the pelvis, stretch down and out, especially out through your right leg and up through the right arm. Really equally distribute the weight here. Press into the earth. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, cartwheel your hands down. Pivot on your back toes. Reach your leg up. Bend your knee and open your hips. Stay there or flip your dog. Bring your right foot to the ground. Tap your left foot behind you. Pull your shoulders back and lift through your heart space. Take a breath in. Exhale, slowly unwind and come back to your downward facing dog. Inhale, come all the way forward towards your plank pose and pull the heart through upward facing dog. Tuck your toes, lift your hips up, down dog. From here, walk your way all the way up to the front of the mat in a forward fold. Allow yourself to completely hang here. Interlace your hands behind your back. Lift your shoulders up and drop your hands over the back body. Squeeze the lower half of the legs in, your shins in, and send your sit bones higher to the sky. Slowly release your hands. Inhale and halfway lift, lengthen through your spine. Exhale, fold. Press into the earth. Inhale, circle sweep. Reach your arms high. Exhale, palms to heart center. And breathe in. And breathe out. Inhale, pull your left knee in towards your chest. Find some balance. Cross your left ankle over the right knee. Sink your hips nice and low towards the earth. Take about 3 or 4 breaths here. Reach the arms up high if you want to work your shoulders. Bring your arms down to the earth if you want to go deeper in the hip stretch. If you want to just hold your balance, stay somewhere in the middle. Inhale and pull your left knee in towards the chest. Find some stability. And now from here, we're going to squat down. So kind of like a little bit like a Shiva squat. Bring your left foot behind you and lower your left shin down onto the mat to take a seat. Similar to a pistol squat, but not as hard. Now, with this right leg, the foot that's on the ground, bring that knee back. And now you're in a 90-90 like hip stretch, essentially. Bring your weight more onto your front hip and start to fold your chest over your left thigh. You can rest on your forearms, on your hands, or put a block underneath your head. We'll be here for a few breaths. Slowly start to rise up, and now we'll do a mobility drill. Lift your right knee up for just about, 2, 3, 4 inches, not more than 5. And just kind of pull, so you should feel your glutes turning on. If you don't, you can bring your hand to the glute and just kind of give it a few pokes to remind it to turn on. Take about, 3 to 5 more pulses like that. And then, as you're ready, lower the knee down, reach the heel up. So you're moving through internal rotation, getting the hip flexor turning on. It's called your TFL. It's kind of close to the glute, but more on the outer edge of the leg. And now we'll move through this mobility challenge here. Lift that whole leg up, straighten your leg out forward, and then bring your leg back. And straighten your right leg out and forward, and bring it back. Last time, bring it out and forward. This time, ground the foot on the earth. Bring the weight of your torso forward. I like to give myself a little momentum until you're resting on that shin. Stand down into your right foot. Pull the left knee in. Find some stability. Straighten out through your left leg. Straighten out through your arms. Take an inhale. Exhale, swing your leg back as your trunk comes forward. Bend into your front knee, step back, land in a crescent lunge. Squeeze your legs towards one another. Take an inhale. As you exhale, sink your pelvis down. Make your feet hip distance apart. Inhale, reach your right arm back as your left arm pulls forward. Pull both shoulders back into space. Inhale, bring your back hand to the back thigh and lean back, exalted warrior. Press the hand and the thigh into one another to make contact. Slowly lower your left arm down. Reach the right arm high for a lunge twist. You can stay here or pivot to the outside edge of your left foot. Heel toe your front foot halfway down the mat. Lift through your hips. Reach your right arm in line with your ear. Inhale. Exhale, lower your hips down. Bring your arm behind you. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, lower and soften. Inhale, lift and lengthen. And exhale, lower and soften. This time, find your version of Vashisthasana side plank. Stack your feet, stagger your feet. Or my invitation will be to grab for a little quad stretch. Bend your knee, reach your hand around to grab for your foot. It's a little back bend here called Kapinjalasana. Kick your foot into your hand and send the sides of your throat back into space. Stay here or land in Wild Thing. Tap your foot behind you. Lift your hips up. Straighten out through your left leg. Unwind, lower your right hand down, reach your right leg high, and lower your right foot all the way down to the earth, downward facing dog. From your down dog, walk your way up to the front of the mat, land in a forward fold. Interlace your hands behind your back. Let's go opposite thumb on top. I think it's left, but I'm not sure. Just do what feels less normal. Lift your shoulders up and drop your hands over the back body. Breathe. Release your hands. Inhale and halfway lift, lengthen through your spine. Exhale, fold. Press into the earth. Inhale, circle sweep, reach it up. Exhale, palms back to heart center. Pull your right knee in. Find some stability for a moment. And breathe. Cross your ankle over your knee. Sink your hips low into space. Root down into the four corners of your foot to find stability. So the first part of your foot that's going to come unrooted is your big toe mound or the inner edge of the heel. Inhale and pull the knee back in towards the chest. Now here's the squat down. Bring your knee down and behind your standing shin. Bend into your left knee until your right shin touches the ground. Then pull that left knee back. Find both your legs in that 90-90 shin box position. Front shin lines up with the back of the mat, or the front of the mat, and the left shin lines up with the long edge of the mat. Inhale, lift up through your heart. Exhale, start to fold forward. And bow and rest. The tendency here is for the weight to pull you way towards the right, so push into your right arm more to balance out this stretch and get more intensity into the hips. Slowly start to rise up. And now we'll work through those mobility drills. Lift your left knee up. So you're just going to have to trust my voice since you can't see me since it's facing the other way. You're lifting your knee about, 3 to 4 inches. Keep the heel down for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower the left knee. Reach your left heel up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower that leg. Bring the weight all the way onto your right hip and stretch your left leg forward. And then bring your left leg back and straighten your leg. Bring it up and forward and back and straight. Last time, up and forward. Ground your left foot. Pull your right shin in a little bit more. Bring your weight forward onto your foot. Stand down into your left foot and pull the right knee in towards your chest. Straighten out through your right leg and your arms. Inhale. Exhale, swing your leg back and your trunk forward. Bend into your front knee and land in Virabhadrasana, crescent lunge. Sink your hips low. Squeeze your legs towards one another. Find your balance here. If it's harder to balance, make your feet hip distance apart. That should help. Inhale. Exhale, grab your right wrist, side bend over towards the left. Inhale, back through center. Exhale, twist. Bring both arms back. Left arm goes back first. Pull your shoulders back into space. Inhale, exalted warrior. Bring your back hand to the back thigh. Reach your arm high. Inhale. Exhale, come down. Bring your right hand down. Reach your left arm up. Pull both of your shoulders back. Lean back. Breath in. Exhale, start to pivot to the outside edge of your back foot. Bring your front foot halfway down the mat. Lift through your hips. Reach your left arm in line with your ear. Inhale. Exhale, lower your hips down. Bring your arm behind you. Inhale, lift up and lengthen. And exhale, lower. Last one. Inhale, lift. Find that length and width with the hips going as high as they can towards the sky. Step your foot back. Find your version of side plank. I'm going for Kapinjalasana, and if that's you too, bend your knee, reach around, try to grab for your foot. We'll only be here for a moment. Pull your shoulders back. Inhale, and release your foot. Kamatkarasana, a wild thing. Lift through your hips. Stay straight through your right leg. Reach your left arm forward or bring your left hand to your heart. And slowly unwind. Come back to downward facing dog. Lower your knees down. Find child's pose, forehead to the mat. Stretch your arms way out long. Lower your elbows down. Bend your elbows and bring the prayer behind your skull as you open up through your chest and your heart space. Slow down the ripples of your breath. Notice how the practice of yoga may have shifted for you today. Release your arms forward. Rise up through that tabletop position. Send your weight over to one side and come to lie on your back. As you arrive on your back body, pull your knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a little squeeze. And then cross your left knee over your right. So supine Gomukhasana. Arms can come to a cactus or a T. Take a breath in. And as you breathe out, send your legs over towards the right. Gaze is towards the left. So because your left leg is on top of the right, you're going to get a little extra intensity in this stretch here. And breathe. Engage through your obliques. Come back through center before going to the other side. Grab for the outside edges of your heels. So you're going through the inner edge of the foot to grab for the outside edge of the foot. Flex your toes back towards your ankles so the foot is nice and straight, and pull your feet either out wide or towards your heels or your hips. Your heels and your hips towards one another. That's going to be like a little easier than if you bring the feet farther away from the hips and keep pulling the shins down towards your chest. And breathe. Slowly unwind. Cross your right knee over your left. Inhale. Exhale, cactus your arms and bring your legs over towards the left. Gaze is either towards the ceiling or towards the right. Engage so your obliques come back through center. Keep your knees wrapped. Bring your hands to the outside edges of your feet. Flex your toes back towards your ankle and take 4 to 5 deep breaths here. Unwind. Give yourself a little squeeze. Maybe happy baby pose. Grab for the outside edges of your feet. Pull your feet down as you press your feet up into your hands. Pull the small of your back in, your lumbar spine, and tilt your groins down towards the earth. Tilt your sacrum down to touch the mat. Maybe you straighten through your left leg. Maybe you straighten through your right leg. Maybe you straighten through both legs. Inhale. Exhale, pull your legs in. Wrap your forearms around your shins. Take a breath in. And exhale, stretch your legs out long and your arms down by your sides, by your hips for a Shavasana shape. Take a full inhale. Open mouth, cleanse it out, HA. Let the weight of your body sink and melt into the earth as the earth so gracefully supports you in this Shavasana shape today. Again, take as much time as you'd like